Hi, we're Dynasty and we're drinking, well, all of us except this fuck.
I'm sorry! I'm sorry!
Little bit of the backstory is he can be told not to do something, but then we'll do it. AKA, do not spill this drink. Spills drink onto my vintage jeans.
Sorry, okay?
It's not actually cider, though. It's actually bread's piss.
This bread, not me. He has a dick, I don't.
This is baby bread.
Yeah, because only people with dicks can piss.
Well, into this small little bottle, I think, yeah. We also think he smells weird. That's why we're sat over here.
He has no comment because he knows it's true.
I think we need to start off with the fact that I just dropped the bottle cap. We were talking about wills.
Were we? Oh yeah, a while ago.
And the fact that you get a will at
Legoland.
Yeah, so I don't know if this is still the case, but when I was working at Legoland, I had to write a will. It's the only will I've ever written, and it was in case something bad happened to me.
That sounds dodgy as fuck.
Well, Legoland's dodgy as fuck.
I know, I worked there.
The floor is so wet with cider, I swear. There's more. How did more get on the floor?
It's because it's not cider. Frankie pissed himself, and I'm just going to talk about piss for the next hour, it seems. But
There's so much cider on the floor, one sec.
I should not legally be classed as an adult, by the way. None of us should.
Don't piss in my house. You're going to get banned. He's going to get banned by Daddy Fred at some point. Sorry, I'm not.
That seems that. If anything, that would be quite an achievement because your dad is chill.
My dad puts up with a lot of
Your
shit.
dad is chill as fuck.
He's too chill and it's kind of scary.
your dad is fit.
Yeah, apparently he's daddy material and that's scary to me.
Your dad is a dilf. Your dad is a dilf.
I'm mostly into women, and your dad's. I would ride your dad anytime.
I want to note that I want to go home, and the fact that I'm already home says a lot.
He should come on the podcast.
Oh my god,
Come
Daddy!
on, I mean literally.
No.
I'm all over it.
I don't know how Daddy Bread would react to a podcast. Like, I think he'd look at one of the microphones and then look at the second one and go, fuck, I'm out. It's like, too many mics, too many lights. He'd be like, I need to go change my eye, I need to do my eye. Yeah, he's blind in one eye.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so
that makes him like even hotter because he has like an injury. So that's like I want to.
Yeah, but it's a milky eye. It's milky.
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 That's your dad.
Saying that bad, Baffy, have you ever had sex with a blind chick?
Mate, have you?
Yes, I have.
Go on, tell us the story.
Oh.
What's the story about?
I'd just like to quickly
She can
interject
see a
with-
thing.
Any chick that has slept with me has got to be blind.
Oh, God.
You are hot, bitch. I'm the ugly one.
Go on, Frank.
Well, okay, I've told you about how I have told you about how at one point in my life I was sectioned for 2 months, right?
To be honest,
Yes.
at this rate, everyone's been sectioned except me. My time will come.
Right, so what was I talking about?
Sleeping with a blind chick.
Right, yeah, okay. So I've told both of you about how I was sectioned for a couple of months.
Yes.
Right. The ward, I forget the ward. I forget the ward I was on. I also forget the hospital, but
Diva?
I did. What?
Diva ward.
Probably.
Prospect Park.
Possibly.
We have no prospects.
Possibly. But I do remember the fact that the ward I was sent to, blah, 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 room you're in, blah, blah, blah. And when they let you out, there's like the main little area, and then there's loads of other crazy people.
As a psychologist, I do not condone calling crazy people crazy people.
No, they let you out to like socialise in this one big room, and then there's loads of other crazy people.
Oh yeah, socialization. social time.
Yeah, they let you out to socialise
Like
with all
your
these.
prisons.
They let you out to socialise with all these other in this one big room. And there's loads of other crazy people, and I just remember there was this one girl, and I didn't clock on she was blind straight away. I didn't.
Is this like a moment like in like Airbender where like no one thinks Toph, well Toph the fighter, when you know she's in the fight club and no one thinks she's blind, they're just like, what's going on? And she actually is blind.
Yeah. Something like that. I didn't clock on she was blind straight away. I think I started interacting with the girl. She's like called Katerina or something.
Oh, was she Russian? She's got to be Russian.
Maybe. She's like,
of course she's fucking Russian.
Maybe. I can't remember. But she was like called Katerina or something, and she had like really jet black hair.
She's Russian.
Really jet black hair.
That bitch is a Russian spy.
Really jet black hair.
No, that is a Russian spy.
No. Really fucking jet black hair. I remember it being messy. I remember it being messy and
yes, because she's in an asylum basically.
No, I remember it being messy and what's that? What's it called when you don't wash your hair for ages? Matted. Yeah, matted. I remember it being messy and matted.
Wait, hold up. Can we just messy black hair? Messy black hair. Messy black.
Basically, Frankie looked in the mirror and went, "That's a blind chick," and fucked.
Are you sure this wasn't a hallucination?
This happened when I was a lot younger than I am now.
So when you were 20.
Fuck off.
I like to make fun of their ages because I'm the young one. The young ones.
Yeah, but
that's a good TV show.
Yeah.
I'm a grandma.
I love your child.
I lost my train of thought now.
I love how
basically I fucked a blind chicken in an asylum.
You was rushing to get to the end of that.
Oh, where I work, we allow blind people to go karting. I'm not kidding. We allow blind people to go karting. I mean, they are in dual cars. It's like basically the equivalent of a Flintstone car.
Yeah.
They're like
yabba dabba doo.
I don't scream that as a blind person. We're shitting on blind people for no apparent reason.
On the subject of going blind, that is actually my biggest fear. What's your guys' biggest fear?
Oh God,
I'd rather be blind than not be able to hear. I think.
I think it would be like waking up and realizing every single good thing is like a delusion.
Sure.
That sounds like my reality.
Like if I woke up today and like my dad wasn't actually my dad, or losing my dad, I think I'd be fucked.
Sure.
It's kind of like I don't think my granddad could live without my grandma. If I woke up today and they said, look, you've been having this delusion of this weird life, all your friends are real, but your dad isn't, I think I would just kill myself.
It's the same with me going blind. I wouldn't be able to do it because it's like related to like
you wouldn't be able to do it. Like it's a fucking choice.
I'd just kill myself. I mean, I would probably struggle because I wouldn't know where shit was, but I'd look for a knife. Well, I say look loosely, but I would try and find a knife and jam it into my neck.
Oh, because I mean, I kind of had like, or the lowest point of like last year was when one of my best friends, and you know this.
Yes.
Absolutely just ditched me after years of them being like reliant on me.
Are we going to name this fucker or are we not?
We're not. Yeah, we're going to call him Wally. He's a Wally.
We're going to call him Wally.
He was a Wally.
Hello, Wally.
Wally Oxenfree. Basically, he decided that after years, and I mean nearly about 10, because it was like the first year of secondary school to my last year of uni, so nearly 10 years. I was in my fucking masters when he did it. He went, nah, I don't want to be your friend anymore. He implied that I was dangerous and that he couldn't for his safety basically meet up with me unless there was someone else. And the problem is he only had like me and another friend, and I would never be able to see him because this friend always pulled out. So therefore, he basically said I was dangerous. And the only reason he was saying I was dangerous was because we had a few disagreements.
So you've explained this to me and I still don't get it.
Yeah, he was a cunt. But, like, oh my god. So, fun fact about me, I wasn't a big rebel in schools. However, if I could get away with not going to school one day, I'd fucking do it, right? So we
Makes sense.
When we were doing tests in sixth form, there were days where I didn't actually need to be in school. Didn't at all. And they wouldn't have told me off for, because there was no lessons on that day that were anything I needed to do a test in. So let's say I've done both of my RS tests, my ethics and philosophy and shit like that. And that day, they were philosophy lessons, basically, but you've done the test, so you don't need to go in because it's done, right? Wally had a test. So, of course, Wally asks me to come in. I go in. He doesn't, like, go, I'll buy you a monster from the shop, or, I'll help you, like, look over your notes, or offer any kind of, like, payment. I know friendship isn't about payment, but he knows.
It's the decent thing to do.
But, like, one of my big things was, like, I'm not coming into school unless I need to. So, we do this whole thing where I go on a walk, building up, like, it's about 4 hours.
You just mentioned the motherfucker's name.
Fuck it. It's not like he's gonna fucking watch. I'm going around
and
with
if you
Ollie.
do, hey!
Fuck you! You ditched me, I can say whatever the fuck I want. If you want to do anything, fuck you. So I'm walking around with Ollie, and he's like, do bleep his name out. I will just say that now. I'm gonna call him Wally now, but he knows who he is. You're not gonna find him, but we're going around with him, and literally I'm in school for 4 hours that I don't need to be in, and I hate. Like, I will literally ditch school. Like, I might be like I might have been a goody two shoes, but I would ditch whenever I fucking could. Made me go in. I stayed hours after school because he had to have talks with teachers, because the thing is, he took the idea of resilience. So, like, he was very autistic.
Right.
And he took the idea of resistance as an insult to being autistic.
Explain that.
So he would be told, like, look, the English test, you have to read one of these lists of books and another one, and compare the two and do the project.
Right.
I don't like this one. I don't like this one. 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 Finds two he likes. Oh, but now I found them. I don't have enough time to read them. He does. And it would go on and on and on and on.
And
he'd get, like, exceptions. He'd get this, that, and the other. And I'm like, mate, the only reason you're getting this is because your parents are paying for it, but also calling in for you every 5 seconds. And here I am, trying to do my shit, and I have no one in my corner. My dad's doing shit for me, but he cannot call in for every 5 minutes of the day when your parents can. You turn up late for this, that, and the other. You complain because you are late, and all this other shit. And, like, you are making your own problems. And then you're like, when the teacher suggests you need to build up resilience, that they're insulting your autism.
oh, so, like, he had a very thin skin, basically.
Yeah, and, like, I am not diagnosed as autistic, but you are. And
I am.
So you both are.
But
you understand that there is a point where you have to go, yeah, but there are changes I can physically make. He took anything that was slightly uncomfortable was going against, like, the fact he was autistic, and, like, it was unacceptable to do. Which is totally wrong, because it doesn't matter what disability you have. Like, I have dyslexia, but if I went, any writing assessment is wrong and it goes against it makes me uncomfortable, that's not right. Like, it's the majority of what life is made up of. You've got to make some changes in your life. Like, there are things that autistic people can and can't do, and there are unheard of, like, things that the government and other people are asking of them. However, if your English class that you chose to do, because he could choose anything, he could literally choose anything. He chose this, knew what he was going to be assigned. I didn't choose English. I had to do English. And as a dyslexic, that was fucking hard. I had to choose it because I had no other options. And if I didn't choose one quickly, I would have got kicked out of sixth form and I wouldn't be where I am today. He chose it, physically chose it, complained about his fucking GCSE scores, which was so good. They're fucking amazing. And then I had to fucking do this, and all you hear in the background is like, oh, it's going to be so hard for me to find a book I want to read. I'm like, do you think that I actually want to read A Clockwork Orange? It's in a different fucking dialogue than our own. Like, it's technically a different language. I struggled so fucking hard with that. And he had no ounce of respect for me. And, yeah, I could go on for hours about this guy, but...
I like A Clockwork Orange.
It's a good book.
It is a good book.
The problem is, it's just hard to read when you're dyslexic. So I had a version of the book that has, like, the translations in the back. So it has, like, the... what's it called? There's a name for, like, languages that are made up. So the whole point... Clockwork Orange falls under the dialogue of, like, doc language.
Right.
So in the docs of the UK and military and all that, they have, like, this sub-language. So they basically hook up with men without being found out because they were speaking a different language, basically. It was still applied in the same way as, like, English language, but it was different. I can't remember the name of it. Argot. That's the word. Argot. It was a different Argot. So it's still like English words, but they meant a whole different thing.
Like Cockney, basically.
Like Cockney rhyming slang, but more advanced because it didn't rhyme.
Mm.
And this book is written with a mixture of normal English and this Argot. And I had to basically every other page switch back and forth reading it. I also read One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and compared to two because I was like, this is racist, this is homophobic, this, and this. They're good ones to compare because they're both about mental illness. He, on the other hand, was like, anything he would do had to be about autism or LGBTQ plus, which we all know from school literature is not what is going to be on the list. And like the amount of stress
in state stores, gay shit is hard to come by.
Well,
I was going to say that is actually, I mean, on a just separate note, it is actually a big shame there isn't enough LGBT literature spoken about.
The problem is, so the way the law stands at the moment, if a student tries to educate the school about LGBTQ plus themes, it's completely legal. However, if a teacher does it, it becomes illegal in some circumstances. So at the moment, it stands that legally, if I was a student in a school, I could go in and give an entire sex education class on gays, lesbians, trans people, and it'd be fine. However, if a teacher did it, it's not. On top of that, you've got the issue of the fact that if a kid wants to do assembly, it has to go through the governors and all this other shit. So if one governor goes, like, what's the theme? And the child goes, LGBTQ plus, they can shut it down. So it's a case of, like, so I ran with Wally a LGBTQ plus / safe zone for children in our school for about a year and a half. It was great. However, I have no idea if it's still running. I hope it is, but I have no idea because I have no say because they never contacted us afterwards, probably because the governors went, fuck off. But in this safe space, we could literally, like, so if me and Wally handed out condoms, told about safe sex, told about autism, told about sexuality, it's fine. However, if a teacher's there and hears it, physically that's illegal. I don't know if the laws have changed since now, but we were basically arguing that there should be access in schools for condoms and stuff. Like, very basic, like, safety regulations.
Also, this is somewhat related, but, okay, we've all had sex ed at some point done, right?
Yes.
Think of your standard sex ed lesson.
Which is shit.
This is what a vagina looks like. This is what a dick looks like. Put the condom on the banana. Don't get pregnant. That's more or less it.
And the things we had in our school, because I think they wanted to try and look progressive, we had like this weird Do you remember the episode of South Park where there's like that don't smoking assembly? And then they all smoke afterwards because they don't want to end up like the guys in the assembly.
Yeah.
That was
It has the opposite effect.
that was
yeah.
that was but out. That was basically the sex edge thing we had. And then the entire opposite, we had this drug talk where this woman came in and went, I physically know that I am not going to stop you from taking drugs. Like, there's nothing I can do or say that's going to stop you because I know some of you are already doing it. But I can tell you, don't take pills and don't snort shit. And if you're going to do taking pills or snort shit, I can tell you what to look out for and what to avoid. They literally went through a whole thing of like, if you're going to snort stuff, do not use a paper note. Use your own personal straw. Make sure it's fine. Make sure you cut it. Make sure that you know who you're getting off of. They went into all detail of like, we know we're never going to stop you from taking drugs, but we can make sure you do them safely. We don't want you injecting because we both know that you are not a medical student. You're not going to know where your vein is or what to do. Do not do that. If you're going to take a pill, at least know where you're getting it from. If it looks slightly grey and it shouldn't look great, don't take it. If you're going to snort shit, do not use a a £5 note, because you know what's going to happen. You're going to get paper cuts in your nose. And they went on and on and on about like the actual side effects of like after the high rather than about what the high is. Because
The come down.
yeah, they went on about the calm down, whereas other drug talks I've ever seen or heard about talk about the drugs itself. It's like, this causes this addiction, and this addiction, and this. It's like, they never talk about the fact that if you snort coke, you're going to lose teeth. Your whole palate's going to disappear. This person was like, if you're going to do coke, it's probably safer to shoot it than it is to snort it in the long run. And like, they went off on like a big tangent. I'm like,
Shoot as an inject.
or smoke.
What's...
Injecting, shooting.
Shooting, yeah.
Right.
But they went on a big one of like, sorry, that's me. If I'm a dummy when it comes to drugs.
It's a bit funny because all of the advice you gave, very sound advice basically, but I ignored all of it during my drug using days. 2 years sober from coke now, so that's great. I don't consider weed a drug.
No.
Disclaimer, if anyone's listening from my uni course, I do not do drugs. These two don't do drugs. So because you're not going to say you do drugs.
Me and Baffy haven't touched anything in our entire lives, we promise.
Well, no, I'm going to be real. I used to, but like
That's
it's
fine.
all about recovery and overcoming.
Yes, exactly. Totally safe here. Let's be
Drugs
honest.
are bad, okay? Drugs are bad. Drugs are bad.
But yeah, if you didn't know, I have a degree
And a BTEC.
and a BTEC, and I'm working on my second degree.
And if you didn't know, I dropped out.
I also dropped out. But that was for more than one reason.
Yes, we are saying the lead guitarist is not a genius. And our lead singer is not a genius. However, the bassist, the
But I do
dumbest
suffer
person
from-
in the band, seems to be the genius.
But lead singer does suffer from major LSD, and for you,
LSD?
lead singer's disease.
Ah, yeah, he does.
I do suffer from major LSD. Just putting that out there. I am definitely stereotypical lead singer. I am definitely stereotypical lead singer in terms of like.
He is. Like, our first jamming session, Bath brings over their amp for me to borrow because I'm shit. And literally within 2 seconds of it being placed on the floor, plugged in and turned on, this fucker has his fucking legs up on it.
Why not? Why not?
Because you're gonna damage it.
Why not use the amp as a
to be-
footrest?
To be fair, it's a Fender amp, so they are very hard to
Why
damage.
not use the amp as Why not use the amp as a footrest? We got a lot done. We got a lot done on Tuesday.
Like, you mean I wrote like
Yeah,
a shit song and you...
We did loads. We went to the shop, we got monsters, we got booze, loads. Really, really progressive man shit.
Baffy, you're shitting on it, but we actually got a lot done on Tuesday.
No, we did.
I can play 4 chords. They're not near any like near each other at talks that all along the fucking.
Shh, don't give away your secrets.
Secrets.
I still can't get over the fact that you guys got to write wills at Legoland, and the worst that's going to happen to you is a kid puking on you.
Baffy wrote a will at Legoland. I didn't, but probably because I wasn't there for long enough. I was there for exactly 2 months, and then what happened was I basically pulled the sickie, and then I went, actually, you know what? I don't want to go back. Quits.
The thing is,
I don't care if this is defamatory or anything, or we could be sued for this. I'm just going to say this. Merlin is an evil studio. They do not treat people right. They torture kids. They underpay their staff. And
they underpay their staff.
Them, but they refuse to pay them the pay that they should have been getting, and completely ignore months of work. They are an awful company to work for. I would not recommend.
Also, like, when you did your whole, like, the big circle, the big group, like, hiring process, they state outright that their ultimate ambition is to be bigger than Disney.
Yes.
Merlin are never going to be bigger than Disney. That's delusional.
As big or bigger than Disney.
That is just delusional.
They state outright that their ultimate ambition is to be as big or bigger than Disney. They state it outright.
To be fair, they do own a lot of theme parks around the world.
And they
only own a few.
They own
Disney.
And they own the London Eye, which
yeah, they do.
They own the London Eye, which
and Madame Tussauds.
2 national monuments that are protected by history.
They
right?
shouldn't own national monuments. That's wrong in my view.
Yeah. Well, Madame Tussauds is an argument because it's like.
But the London Eye is a national monument.
It's a national monument. Like it is chartered. Like if someone brought it, they will not be allowed to destroy it unless like natural events happen. Which, let's be honest, if someone brought the London Eye, it's going to have a nightclub ending where it burns down, like the fucking Brighton Pier.
By me.
Us. But I just like the idea of like you can get a will written up at Legoland, but not where I work.
I worked at after I dropped out of college, I basically almost immediately went to work at Legoland
because you needed money.
Because I needed money, which isn't a problem anymore.
I need money though.
Don't worry, bitch. I'll look after you. But
yes, Daddy.
I is the band Pimp.
I don't think you want that title. I think of all the people that want to be called Pimp, it's not you.
Not in that context, no. I've never solicited prostitution. I don't believe. Okay, I personally don't believe in paying for sex because it takes away the element of the chase. But I don't. I don't hate on people who willingly do that.
The guy that should be in a smoking jacket with a cigar.
I'm not Andrew Tate. I'm not Andrew Tate.
That fucker's never worn a smoking jacket. He may have cigars, but he's never worn a smoking jacket.
Wasn't he wearing a smoking jacket in the pizza video?
Yeah, but that was satirical.
Ah.
Like, he doesn't
also,
usually
can we just acknowledge how fucking rock and roll it is that fucking Greta Thunberg got him arrested?
Greta Thunberg is like, I want to meet her. I honestly want to meet her and literally get on my knees and bow down before her. She is, like, a new level of, like, I am committed to a cause. Like, usually when someone like Greta Thunberg comes along, it's like 2 years until, boom, they've done something wrong, right?
Sure.
Has Greta Thunberg ever fucked up in her entire life?
I don't know.
She's got an opera singer as, like, I think a mum.
Her mum's an opera singer, her dad's like a...
She's well off, but if you look at her, all she's ever done is gone, fuck my wealth, I'm going to give to others. Like, yeah, she may be in a position to do that a little bit better than anyone else, but there's nothing really bad about her, and I love that. Because it's like with Winston Churchill, for example, like, yeah, he won the war, but some of the shit he said was very racist. Greta Thunberg, on the other hand, rich, comes from a rich family. However, she's never done anything.
I don't think you can say that Winston Churchill was even a good person, to be honest.
Oh no, he just helped win a war.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, at the time, Churchill was viewed as a moderate. That's what you have to realise. I'm not saying he was...
Anti-Thatcher shirt.
Can we please not talk about Thatcher this time?
Oh, I wanna.
I mean, I'm here, so it's going to get very
It's going to get
visceral.
brought up at some
It's going to
point.
get very rough if we start bringing up Thatcher.
I really drunk out, like, basically this whole
Yeah.
bottle.
I spilled beer and...
It's not beer, it's cider.
I
it's
spilled
worse.
cider.
On my vintage jeans.
They will be fine, and if they ain't fine, I will pay to dry
If they
clean.
ain't fine.
If they ain't fine.
I'm going to deliberately spill shit on it tomorrow.
So what I will say, and we had this when we did in the episode 0, and yes, that is an episode 0 by me.
No, I will. I bite.
Like,
Pardon me?
Nice.
when Blair dies, we are having a party.
Oh, fuck yeah. Like, I wasn't old enough to really understand Thatcher, but if I was, oh my god, I would have had a party.
I did party.
We should have.
I'm old.
When did Thatcher die? Because we should have a party. On the-
2013.
Unfortunately,
day.
she didn't die every day of my existence because I would have partied.
She died in 2013.
Yeah, but the day.
It's the sad thing about people dying; they only do it once.
She died in 2013. See, here's the thing. She died. She was in the Ritz when she died.
Of course she fucking was. 8th of April. Should we have a Margaret Thatcher death party?
Yes.
I mean, I don't approve of the sentiment, but sure, what any excuse for a party.
I don't agree with the sentiment because I'm a Tory scumbag.
See, I'm weird because, like, when it comes to death, I believe everyone should, go out on their own whim and all that shit. However, because freedom of speech exists, and the fact that Margaret Thatcher was an asshole, we should be allowed to play the Wicked Witch instead.
See, I don't have any negative opinions on dancing on someone's grave that caused the graves of hundreds, if not thousands, of people.
Yes, I will dance on my mother's grave, and I will dance on Margaret Thatcher's grave if I know where it is. Surely her grave has been vandalised.
It gets pissed on all the time.
Of course.
It's basically a public toilet.
Yeah.
It's watched by guards, but
Could you imagine that job though? It's like, you're a security guard, yes. Could you stand at a grave? What? Because they'd have to do that for life.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be allowed to just leave that job. Like, that is their job for life, just standing on a piss stain.
It was nice of Thatcher to become the world's first public toilet in London. free public toilet, that is.
They should.
Again,
They
Margaret
should.
Thatcher.
They should make public. They should make like public toilets free in London because
Wait,
unlike
they're
the
not.
unlike the
they
underground
cost
you have to like
£1.
you have to unlike the underground you have to pay like 50p a quid to use the toilets.
Yeah,
That just pissed
and
me
it's not
off.
just
No,
the
no,
underground.
I just jumped the barrier. Fuck it.
It's not just the underground. It's like restaurants and places. They will often put fees, and if not fees,
No,
you
that
have to.
no. That should
eat
be
there.
that should be illegal. That should be illegal.
Okay, because these are the same guys that will probably go off on you if you like bled on their seats. But they probably are. Like, it's like it's like tampons and shit shouldn't be taxed. Like, if you can't control something, like if you need to piss or shit, you shouldn't have to pay.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
2100.
Also, I think you should be able to just piss and shit in the street. Like,
Pissing, yes. Pissing, yes. Shitting, I don't know.
No, I'm a hard believer. Like, if your dog shits, you pick it up. Like, if you shit, you should pick it up.
you should pick it up, sure. Like, it's courteous, but I don't think at the same time you should. I mean, I'm a big libertarian. Like,
It's brought
people
back the
should-
law where if you're pregnant, you should be able to piss in the policeman's hand.
That's still a law.
No,
That's
it's
still
not.
a law.
It was overturned.
Oh, really?
I think it was a law until like 2012 or something.
I wish I could overturn a policeman's hat filled with pregnant woman's piss on their head.
Jesus Christ.
ACAB.
I mean, I'm ACAB to a point, but also my next module in forensic psychology is police psychology.
Oh, have fun with
However,
that.
I want to point out police psychology, one of the biggest lessons you learn from that, because I've done it before, is the fact that there's a mentality of boys club within the police force. So it basically tells you about the negative side of like police psychology, which is, oh, yeah, he raped her, but we're all friends, so therefore we're going to say he didn't.
Blue silence is awful. I hate blue silence. The whole institution is just flawed.
I agree. And at the end of the day, if I do anything with my degree, it's probably going to be on like the charity side. Like I probably will be paid for it. However, it's going to be on more of like a victim side or relocating offenders or working within the community. I'm always very careful of what I say on podcasts and social media, but I know for a fact that at this point I'm probably not going to work in a prison. I'm not going to work in because at one point I wanted to be like Secret Service.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Because like, there is a potential I could be, but now because I'm doing podcasts and shit, they can't because my face is out there. And at the end of the day, it's like I'm doing my degree mainly for me. There's no way they can kick me off this course because they can't prove I've done anything illegal. I haven't done anything illegal. You'll back me up. I haven't done anything illegal.
She's
Plead the
innocent.
fifth.
I plead the fifth, which is the American term, but whatever.
No, the Fifth Amendment. The Fifth Amendment is the right to basically say the Fifth Amendment is the right to defend oneself against self-incrimination, which is kind of dumb if you think about it. But I do think that we should have a law like that in this country.
But
You have the right to remain silent.
No, but you can't exercise that right in a court of law, I don't think.
like
Yes, you
morally
can.
speaking, if I was to work in any form of government institution, I will be like a reform officer, not a guard or anything. I'd be responsible for basically either educating prisoners or helping them deal with life outside of prison rather than...
Or the Justice Secretary.
Or the Justice Secretary, if you ever take over the fucking country. But it's
No comment yet.
it's very unlikely that with my degree that I will actually go into the police force or anything. I have a friend who was in the police force and she was in it for like a year and a half, and the way she quit, I'm like, they were putting too much pressure on her. It's all about it was all about meeting a quota rather than being a good officer.
How many black people have you beaten up this week? Not enough.
Yeah, no. Sadly, that is kind of because she had an arrest quota, basically.
That's kind of stupid.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, it's been that way. So there's this idea of there's this idea of like community policing where the whole idea is you've got to make enough arrests to make it worthwhile, and she didn't meet that quota, and then because she didn't, they put her on like supervision, and then it kept like spinning out of control, and she just went, look, I think I'm gonna quit. And I'm like, I wanted her to have a good career. Like I wanted, because especially when you're in the police force, like it's all about the career.
Mm.
And she wasn't a bad person, she's good. You've met her. I'm not gonna name her because obviously privacy and all that shit. But she was good. Like you can tell she was a good person, and you need more of her in the actual police force. But she was like, I just can't meet this quota, and she just quit. And I don't blame her.
On a real, like, I knew she wasn't going to be a good police officer, not because she wasn't a great person, because the exact opposite. I would tell her ACAB, and she'd go, yeah.
Like she's what you want a police officer to be. Officer to be. But unfortunately, that's not what the system wants. And oh god, like,
Isn't it counterproductive to have arrest quotas though, or any quotas of that sort of nature?
It's not actually called an arrest quota, it's called something else, but it is at the end of the day
An arrest quota.
an arrest quota.
Yeah, but that's count. Okay, community policing is obviously a good idea. However, if you have quotas for A, B, C, D, E, F within that institution, that that's just massively counterproductive because, well, it's corporate policing. They have the same problem in America on a much larger scale.
The thing is, so Beth will disagree with me, but I believe we do need some form of policing. However, it's never going to be the correct form unless we look at. So the way policing works at the moment and how it's worked since Tony Blair is it's been popular politics. It's been, we want people to be punished so they do not re-offend. However, that's not how you stop re-offending. They never look at the actual statistics and the facts and the studies.
So you talk about statistics, and I know you know your statistics well.
Oh, yeah.
What statistic shows that policing actually decreases crime?
None of them do.
So why do we need them?
But when it comes to actual criminals and stopping re-offending, because that's, at the end of the day, you're never going to stop crime actually happening. The only thing you're going to be able to stop or reduce is the re-offending. Because long as you have a capitalist society, people are going to steal. As long as people are stealing, people are going to beat people up to get more things, so on and so forth. But there's always going to be crime. That's not the way you're going to stop things. However, when it comes to the prison side of things, that's where you can stop things. It's turning out that the prisons in Norway and Scandinavian countries who don't focus their prisons on punishment but on reform and giving them freedoms and educating and this, that and the other, positive basically, just anything positive towards them, reduces the crime rate.
Yeah, significantly.
To the point of I think I want to say Norway, I might be getting it wrong, but one of the Scandinavian countries has an 18% reoffending rate, and we have an 80% reoffending rate. But because of Blair and the popular politics, it's the case of the public wants people to be punished, therefore they are, and therefore they reoffend. The problem is, if people murder, they're gonna be behind bars for life. Let's be honest. So it doesn't really matter about them. But if someone's shoplifts, if someone's shoplifts, why give them 3 years? Why not just give them, let's say, 3 months, re-educate them, and introduce them into society again, and give them jobs?
I do agree with crimes like shoplifting and so on. Then, obviously, there's a reason behind that.
But the thing is, some people are getting more time in jail for shoplifting than they are from raping kids.
Okay. Oh, yes.
No, that's true.
No. I want to jump in here. You might not have seen this. I did share it in the chat earlier, but Gary Glitter got released today.
Gary, I'm sorry. If you are famous and you are a sex offender,
you deserve life.
I know it sounds unfair because that's not. No, you don't deserve life because that is just not what the sentencing levels are at the moment. I'll be honest. I want to change the years of what you have to do via crime.
Mm-hmm.
There needs to be a reform there. If you are a celebrity and you make it extra hard for courts to prosecute you because you are one,
sure,
there needs to be a change. Because let's be honest, there's so many celebrities out there that get to stretch the period of time where they're not in jail by 10, 20 years because of prosecution and getting the right jury and all this.
Well, how long did it take to convict R. Kelly?
He's still not convicted.
No, he got sentenced a year ago or whatever.
Oh, but it took him, I swear it was 15 or so years. It's because the problem is the way the justice system works, and it is rightfully so, it's rightfully so that you cannot convict someone without a jury that doesn't know anything about the crime. The jury has to be objective. They can't be subjective. They've got to not know anything. Which makes sense. You don't want to be convicted by someone who's oh, well, we don't really like your music, so therefore we're going to convict you. Makes fucking sense. However, you can't really do that when it's a celebrity because they're going to know shit. And it's the same thing with a lot of the mass murderers and serial killers and all this other shit. People don't realise that media shouldn't really be allowed to portray crimes and shit until they've been.
Then how do you inform people?
That's the problem. You've got two arguments. You've got the need to. You've got the need to inform, but you've also got the fact that if you inform people, that means the pool of people you can use to get a rightful trial, which means a successful conviction is so small. So you had Jeffrey Dahmer, Charles Manson, you had Ted Bundy, for example. The problem with them was there was no way in hell they were going to get a jury of 12 or 11 people who knew nothing about the case. You can never fucking do that with those sort of crimes because they've been so portrayed in the media. And yeah, your argument of warning and telling people, it makes sense. However, if it's after the crimes have been committed and after that person's been arrested, does it really fucking matter? Because they can't do much more. Okay.
2 things. 1, what you're ultimately talking about here is transparency. Media transparency.
Yes and no, but let's be honest. Did media talk about, when it comes to media and actually portraying crimes, the only crimes they portray are the ones that involve white straight women or white straight kids, or the thing is the big crimes that people actually care about are the ones that are portrayed in the media. So therefore you've got this whole issue of people, they basically just give, the media know what they're doing. They know that what they're saying and doing is going to make the crime worse and make it so that when it comes to court, people are going to be up and roaring and all that shit. That's what they're doing.
It makes it very hard for a fair trial.
It's
and everyone has a right to a fair trial.
The Hyde Park 5 or whatever they were fucking called, the kids that were hanging out in a park in New York who got charged and convicted of raping a woman.
Right.
Some of those children didn't even know what sex was, really. But they got convicted because they were black. And in the 80s, can you see my drift? Exactly. The media does influence convictions and court and all this. I'm not saying the media should never be, on the shit, because you have Michael Jackson, you have Gary Glitter, you have Jimmy Savile, you have all these other people that media is the only way you're going to get hate towards them. However,
Michael Jackson was acquitted.
He was acquitted and he died. Michael Jackson is a touchy subject, but he does fall into the category. So it's
twice, I think.
Twice, however, let's be honest, he definitely did something that's slightly illegal.
I mean, he may not have done the big R word on kids. Maybe not, but he did have a sham wedding ceremony with a child. He
definitely did something that is morally, if not legally, questionable.
Okay, I'll agree morally, but I don't know about legally.
I will leave him out of the list, but you've got to admit there are some cases. The weird thing with media is, I cannot argue for or against media spreading crime or knowledge of crime. However, it doesn't always work. Which brings me on to the subject of songs based on crime.
Such as
Pumped Up Kicks, I Don't Like Mondays, and all these other shit. The thing is, when media or music or anything gets a hold of crime, they just, Psycho Killer, for fuck's sake. They go off on one, and the thing is, they don't actually have the knowledge or the understanding. There has been such a fucking uproar about, the Columbine shooters are an example of the stereotypical shooters of schools. They're not. They didn't set out to be shooters. They were going to blow the school up. They were bombers. They only shot up the school because the bombs didn't go off, and they had guns because they were
America.
They basically had guns on them because they're if something fails, at least we have the guns to kill ourselves. But they do not fit the archetype of a school shooter. However, I Don't Like Mondays, Barbara, I can't remember her last name, did fit the archetype, except from the female aspect. She was basically the first mass school shooter. There have been school shootings before her, but they were always 1 or 2 people.
Sure.
A mass school shooting is more than 1 or 2. It has to be a few more. Actually, she didn't go to this school. She shot into a primary school, and the whole I don't like Mondays thing came from the fact that basically the police would try to call around and see if they could find who was shooting, because they knew it had to be a house nearby, but the media got onto this, and they were calling houses, and she picked up, and they're like, why have you done it? And she's like, I don't like Mondays. She was severely mentally ill. She's still mentally ill. She should have got out of prison and into like an actual psychiatric hospital environment or somewhere to get her help. However, she hasn't.
I agree she was mentally ill, but I also want to just quickly differentiate between, because the media is quick to call all shooters mentally ill. No, you can be evil and twisted and shoot places up without being mentally ill. To call all shooters mentally ill is doing a disservice to mentally ill people and making mentally ill people seem like they could become.
Which is an example of Columbine, because Columbine, the two boys who did it, they kept saying they were mentally ill, they were Nazis, they were this, that, and the other. The only proof they had that they were Nazis was the wearing of long black coats, the playing of a game that you are a Nazi in, and nothing else. On top of that, the only claim that they like planned it beforehand, that it wasn't like it was a Nazi sort of era like that. They blamed video games for it. The only thing they had to blame that on was the fact they did a school photo where they were pretending to hold guns. I'm sorry, if you look at a lot of American school photos, if you look at American culture, what is the one thing that teenage boys or young boys are going to do? Pretend to hold guns.
Yes.
Like that's American. Like that's the excuse that like cops give for shooting black kids. They were holding a fake gun. They were pretending to hold a gun. They were doing this.
He's got a gun.
If your culture is that obsessed with guns, you cannot use that as Nazi symbolization. Like you cannot say a kid pretending to have a gun means they were Nazi. You can't pretend that the video game encouraged it. These were kids that were shooting guns. The whole fucking school was shooting guns. You okay? I
just smoked too much. That's definitely a guitarist thing of me to do.
It is. That, like, in general, lead guitarists smoke a lot. And I'm like, cigarettes, vapes, whatever.
I feel like bassists are like the middle ground between the guitarist and fucking guitarist, drummer, and the singer. They're just like a combination of all of them.
Well, like Baffy's fine to smoke just religiously as much as
we've agreed that I'm going to do like backing vocals, which I didn't think I was going to do, but apparently I am.
No, but Baffy's fine to smoke as much as they want. Like you smoke, then you quit for a while, then you start smoking again.
It's an ongoing cycle. It's my entire life.
Oh no, but I'm fine with you just being like having like the quintessential archetypes of a lead guitar that's hard. Archetypes. Thank you. The quintessential archetypes of a lead guitarist.
I know a big word.
I know words. I am smart.
I'm fine with you having the quintessential archetypes of a lead guitarist. And smoking it, and smoking is one of them. I mean, Keith Richards is a great example of this.
Slash, love Slash.
Slash.
Wunter Slash.
Fucking love that episode.
I'm a weird bassist though.
Yes. The weird bassist over here.
Like, I don't fit the archetype of like idiot who can only do four.
There are three characterizations of the bassist. Complete idiot.
No. I've got tics.
Put that on TikTok. Put that on TikTok. Complete idiot who doesn't know anything about the instrument.
Not me. Kinda.
Quasi musical genius, i.e. the prog guys, i.e. Getty Lee.
Not me. Go on.
You're ruining the sound. Don't worry, Elsie. I got you.
What's the third one, darling?
All the rare guys who actually know what they're doing.
I'm none of them.
All the rare guys who actually have some degree of musicianship and actually know what they're doing, i.e. Cliff from Metallica.
I don't know what I'm doing.
So, yeah, you don't fit into any of that.
I'm like this weird basis that I'm like, I'm not an idiot. I'm not an idiot.
You're not.
Also, I can't play.
You're not an idiot. You're not a musical genius, and you can't play.
I'm like Nikki Sixx, but also less shit.
And you've outlived Sid Vicious
I've outlived Sid Vicious even
by
though
a
I
whole
look like
year.
it.
You've outlived Sid Vicious by a whole year.
Disregard the not being able to play. Anyone can play any instrument.
Yes, I completely agree with that.
My dad judges me because I keep making jokes about using Vicks in my hair as hair gel. Because that's what Sid Vicious and Johnny Rotten did. They use Vicks. I only know that from like the Sex Pistols show, but also I'm like, actually it makes sense because that like texture of that stuff would work as hair gel.
It smells good too.
Like I'd never have a fucking cold. Like I'd be good. I'd be fucking good.
Yeah.
Frankie's having an orgasm.
Frankie's dead.
I haven't had sex in 8 months. You guys know this.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean shit about an orgasm.
True.
Jesus Christ, what are we talking about?
We just
Fred is a minor, you pedophile.
So, on the subject of orgasms, what's everyone's favourite kink?
Oh, whipped cream's good.
Your kink is whipped cream?
Yeah, he doesn't even need to be on the body. He just squirts it up his own bum. It's like happy days.
I've done, Baffy. You know I've done that, except it was cream cheese.
What?
We've had this conversation. We've had this conversation.
Philadelphia.
No. Oh wait, no. No. That I did that to someone else. I haven't had that done to me.
I want to go home.
It went in as cream cheese and came out as Cadbury Philadelphia crossover.
Again, I want to go home, but I'm already home.
Chocolate cream cheese.
Like douche before you do. Like enema, mate. Enema.
Enema of the State, great album. Need to get that.
I was going to say Enema is a great song by Tool.
Oh, but also Enema of the State. At some point I
want to go home.
You are home.
I am home.
Oh.
It's not Enema, it's Anima, but I call it Enema.
Hey mom, there's something in the back room.
It's shit.
Hope it's not dead creatures from above.
No, it's my shit. Oh, for fuck's sake! Every time I do my hair, this fucker has to ruin it. Yeah. We were Dynasty.
We are Dynasty.
I was drinking cider.
Tiss's bread.
Tiss's bread.
Peace.
Peace.